Hello, adventurers. I am Dungeon Master Roy of Dark Alchemy, and today we're joined by IndianaJon, the founder of Kaliber Experiences. Hello, John.
Hey, Roy. Thanks for having me. This is great.
Thanks for coming on. So today's program, we're going to talk about your company and your concierge game services for Dungeons & Dragons and possibly other games. But first, this is a Dungeons & Dragons channel. IndianaJon, do you have a good D&D story, really, of any time in your history you can share with us?
I sure do. Actually, I got a couple. I was having trouble trying to pick. So,
okay. Well, you can do more than one if you like. But
I might.
Start with the one you think might be your favorite.
The one that pops into my head all the time is it's from long ago when I was a little kid. So was still just barely getting into. It was grade school, mid '80s, I guess. I was trying to figure out the year recently. I haven't been able to figure it out. I think it's like '86 or something. But it was Halloween time, which is coming up pretty soon. And we were sitting around. I had just gotten the Castle Ravenloft, the original, Tracy Hickman, Laura Hickman, Castle Ravenloft, and all of my grade school pals we were just getting in D&D. We sat around Halloween night by candlelight, and we played the whole module through all night.
Wow.
It was by candlelight. It was the coolest thing. We had a blast. I fell in love with Ravenloft. It really solidified my falling in love with D&D. Shout out to Tracy and Laura. Thank you for that. Got to get them guys signing my copy. You still have it, that same one. So that was cool. I don't get to play with those guys anymore from grade school, but the other half of the story that I wanted to share was that very soon thereafter, I moved out of South Jersey, which is where I lived. I moved to Northeast Philadelphia in freshman year of high school and didn't know anybody, of course. And D&D found my lifelong best friends. I moved in at the end of freshman year. I had to do a book report. I did The Hobbit. Some other D&D nerd who was in the class who I did not know caught me on that. He was like, aha, I need to meet this person. So he came to meet me. We became friends almost immediately. And then the next year I was sitting in the library reading like the monster manual or something. And another person walks up and says, hey, I see you're reading that book. And we've been lifelong friends ever since.
Yeah. D&D was relatively, still new in the 80s. And we didn't have, I think, the expanse of novels. I mean, there's Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, and some other fantasy kind of novels. But now there's so much fantasy novels written. So back then, to find somebody who was in that kind of niche was special.
Yeah, it certainly stuck out, right? And I mean, in the same capacity, I'm in high school, sitting in homeroom, and I'm I don't know, reading the player's handbook or something in homeroom, or working on an adventure or something. Is girl who, I was a nerd in the 80s doing Dungeons and Dragons. Girls didn't talk to me, but so this girl from behind me in homeroom comes over and right behind me over my shoulder. I'm like, well, this girl's talking to me, and she just says, you're worshiping Satan, right? I was like,
oh, the big scare of the 80s.
It was satanic panic time, right? And I was like, thanks, good tip. So yeah, I've been doing this for a while too.
I've always said that the D&D actually is just storytelling sitting around a campfire, and I've asked different people what they thought of that, and it's not the panic they thought it was. It's just, I think people kind of got away from that sitting around telling the stories, and it's more important now than ever to come back to it with all the electronics and phones that you actually have some in-person gaming.
Yeah.
And that kind of leads into the Kaliber Experiences. Level up your gaming experience, and we can actually play this little cool little video you have here, Kaliber Experiences, and the sword drops.
That's brand new.
Yeah, let's go back to your picture here. This is a nice little picture. There's a wizard and, like, I don't know, maybe an orc or a gnome or an elf or something, and they're looking at the city. And level up your gaming experience. So tell me about Kaliber Experiences. I know we were talking in the green room. You just started it this year. What's your vision for Kaliber Experiences? What can somebody expect from this company?
Well, it's got a lot of potential, right? We've got a lot of different sort of streams going as far as activity types, right? So one of the things that we're primarily trying to make available to the public, in a sense, is our celebrity GM contracted game experience, right? So essentially, maybe you could sit in a Harold Johnson game, or a Stefan Pokorny Dwarven Forge tabletop game or something at a convention, if you get into one and you have access to one and you get in the game and then you maybe get to play with one of those guys and you play whatever they play, and that's cool. That's very exciting.
Yeah.
However, not everybody gets to do that, and it's you don't always like get it on your terms or on your way, but or with your friends and all that stuff. But we're trying to make that like available. So most folks don't think they could just call up like Paul Stormberg and be like, "Hey, Paul, can you come run a game for me?" It's not a normal thing, right? But
yes,
and honestly, it's still not. But through Kaliber Experiences, we have agreements with all of these kind of folks, which they can all be seen on the Celebrity GM page. Malix, Nystul, Stefan Pokorny, we've got Heather Ashcraft, we've got Alan Hammack, we've got Dave Hadden from the Keshanar, the Egyptian Keshanar setting that he invented. He just released his Kickstarter earlier this year. We've got Derek White, the GeekPreacher. We've got Heidi Gygax Garland and Erik Garland from GAXLAND.
oh wow,
all these different folks. Yeah, there we go. Just scroll down. Yep, there's Mike Nystul.
So let's take a step back. They can hire you to run Dungeons and Dragons at their house or at an alternative location. This is not D&D in a castle. Right. This is a kind of a private session. How many players are we looking at? I mean, when I play or I run D&D, 4 or 5 is good. 6, we can do up to 8. What do you see as your ideal player count and your kind of ideal customer?
Well, the ideal customer for this experience, of course, is individuals who really want the next level kind of a thing, or they want something very special. For example, like myself, another story from my childhood is the very first game that I ever played. I played Free to the Ranger in one of the Slave Lord adventures from the original module. And Harold wrote that. And there's Harold right there. He was in charge of that, the entire Slave Lords module situation, right? And I actually got to play it with Harold at Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo in last year, and that was kind of cool for me. I got him to sign it, and that's a neat experience. So I brought my module, he signed that and stuff, but it only happened to work out that way, right? But that's super cool. So if, again, for example, say the way that my story about Ravenloft was, if I don't have Tracy Hickman yet, but if for example, if I did, and me and all of my friends that played that back then, or somebody who's in love with Stefan Pokorny's Dwarven Forge stuff, like Leo, hi Leo, thanks for hooking us up with this.
Shout out to Leo, the mayor of Gen Con, and
indeed,
we're friends with both of him. He's been a real advocate for the Dark Alchemy channel, and really trying to get me guests to interview and just talk about D&D. And he enjoys watching too, because he has a lot of questions also. And he said he's looking forward to watching you, IndianaJon, on this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. So in any case, let's use Leo. Let's say Leo wants to play with Stefan, like he and I played with Stefan at EdCon, but Stefan has his own setup at his house in Seattle that he is happy to run full Dwarven Forge custom games for people. So if Leo and like you and me, and we want to get together and we want to say, we'll fly to Seattle and go to Stefan's house and hang out at Stefan's house for a weekend and play a game, we can make that happen. If that's something that somebody wants. So the ideal customer essentially for this thing is whatever something very interesting and special that somebody really wants, and then we can make it happen. And it can be happening in different kinds of ways. Like, sometimes obviously some stuff's going to cost more. Not everybody can fly to Seattle and spend the weekend, but in other situations, it might be cheaper. For example, if they want Harold or Mike Nystul, we can fly them to a location near where everybody is. So you're only flying one person instead of flying a bunch of people. You could do it virtually. There's a whole bunch of different things. So essentially, it's like a conversation. Call up and be like, this is really what we're looking to want to do. How can we make it work? And then we work it out.
So we can find this website. It's at Kaliber Experiences .com. And that's Kaliber with no E. It's an EPER. And we'll put that in the links down below. You'll be able to click on that for those podcast listeners or people who are just listening on their car ride. You can check back on YouTube and follow all the links at Kaliber Experiences below. So let's go over to celebrity GMs. Mike Malix Nystul. He worked with TSR, FASA, Mayfair Games. Looks like he has a pretty long history. He's been around a lot. BattleTech, Shadowrun, DC Heroes, Chill, Undergrounds.
He's done theater too. Mike's done all different kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So sounds like a good DM. What makes a good dungeon master, IndianaJon? What do you think? What's some characteristics of a good dungeon master or a good storyteller?
Oh, definitely engaging the players, keeping the story alive and dynamic. I think that's if everybody's having fun at the table and people are paying attention, I think that's a win essentially, no matter what you're doing, no matter, but you got to know how to balance that. If you have, especially have mixed up different people at the table and stuff, it's always a challenge. And some of these folks have been doing this for years, and they certainly masters of that.
Well, moving on to Heidi Gygax Garland and Erik Gygax Garland, GAXLAND. So what can we expect from the Gygax family, the Garland family?
Well, they have they're the ones that run EggCon, by the way, EGGCon. It's for Heidi's dad's birthday.
Yes.
We were out there. The Kaliber Experiences was out there helping them run it. The second one was when was that? July, just last month, 2 months ago. And we're queuing up to run it in next year too. So they run that whole conference. It's growing. It's exciting. It's small, but because it's new. But there's a lot of neat stuff and a lot of good energy there. A lot of the local Lake Geneva folks in the crowd from there are always there, and artists are there. All the old school crowd. So that's very cool. And they write modules and adventures and things still too.
Yep, they're still right. Oh, we have Harold Wisconsin Johnson.
Indeed. Man needs no introduction, I suppose. But yeah, he's definitely powerhouse from the TSR days. Managed a bunch of the other celebrities.
Have you played the Secrets of Slave Stockade or the series or any of those adventures with him?
Again, I played one of them with him at Page that prior year.
How was that experience playing an adventure that was written so long ago by the person who wrote it and also now has all this experience behind him?
Well, that's the neatest thing, right? Because it's just like talking to an author about a book that they read, that they wrote, in a sense, right? It's like you read a book, you have it in your head what you think it looks like and how the characters are and how they behave and what their backstory is and everything. But I mean, the person that actually came up with it is essentially the canon person, right? So having Harold run the adventures basically the way that they are, because he designed them that way, it was really neat. So I found out also a little, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but Harold is apparently mostly the one responsible for all those nasty, annoying, difficult, tricky puzzle traps in all of the old adventures, like the flipping room and the flipping hallway and all of the trick stuff. That's apparently Harold is part of Fae, I guess.
I enjoy a good trap. I mean, some of the aspects of running as a dungeon master or a game master, there's the fighting scene, the fight scenes. There's the role playing. We meet the different characters and maybe some intrigue. I really think political intrigue is some of the hardest stuff to run because you really got to keep track of the characters and who's doing what. But then when you go into the dungeon, you don't want the whole thing to be a fight. You want to be like the navigation, the mapping, maybe the challenges of the environment, and dealing with traps. Especially not your standard traps, not just there's a pit or a boulder or something like that, to call back to IndianaJon or Indiana Jones. But the more tricky stuff, we're like, wow, that's diabolical. I did not think of that, and hopefully survive it. But that experience of really a dungeon delving. I like a good dungeon delve and I like a good hex crawl, and each has a little bit different feel to it. Indeed. But if we're above ground too long, I got to get back into the dungeon and kind of get that feel. Is there anything that stands out to you about a good dungeon crawl? What do you like to see in a dungeon? What type of monsters or what type of challenges you like to see?
Honestly, I like you're delving into the unknown and you're trying to pick your way through. You never really know what's going to be right around the corner, right? And wilderness adventures and political ones and cities and stuff, it's an entirely different vibe. But
it is
when you're dungeon crawling, it's like there's a nervousness, almost an anxiety, because you don't know what's going on around you. You don't know where you are. You don't know what's going to be around the corner. I find that to be very fun.
Yeah. This actually is a good lead-in to Stefan. How pronounce the last name?
Pokorny.
Stefan Pokorny.
Yes.
Classically trained painter, sculptor, founder of Dwarven Forge, the pioneer modular miniature terrain company. So, for those who don't know Dwarven Forge, I think most people listening to channel will know it. They make 3D immersive terrain painted. How do you feel theater of the mind versus a board full of terrain?
Yeah, that's
When
a
is
good
it good?
question.
When's it not? You know, like how do you
Yeah,
balance that?
it's a very good question. And you had a prior guest on a prior episode that kind of said that he uses both, right? If it's like, I think,
Yep.
if it's like Dinky walk into the room, oh, there's 4 skeletons there, pop up. You don't necessarily need an entire physical setup,
Correct.
but something relatively epic or a complex, involved situation. It always helps to have a layout, and it brings it a little bit more to life. One of our community DMs that I met at GaryCon, he does not use Dwarven Forge. He made his own stuff by hand. That is essentially, no offense, Stefan, but it's very comparably good. And he just kind of crafted it at home. His name is Chris Sagers, and he had a 3-dimensional like whole setup that was like half the size of the table, and it came off again, and it was phenomenal. And we were completely immersed.
Yes.
And it was really cool. So it really depends on the story you're trying to tell, right? I think so. I think it's case by case basis. There's definitely a case for both.
I'll do a shout out to Dungeon Master Evanson. He's not on tonight. He is playing a game session on Monday nights. That's DM_Evanson, EVENSEN, on Instagram. And DM Evanson uses Dwarven Forge terrain. He uses regular terrain. He makes terrain. One adventure we were playing in, he made like this big board, and it was kind of like a sky city or a big rock floating in the sky. We're kind of going along, fighting up there, and we think we're okay. And then at some point, he had to cut it. We didn't see it cuts. He cracks a piece off. Oh, that falls away. And we're like, uh-oh.
Oh, boy.
There's more cracks. And it was like a pink foam, something you get at Home Depot.
Sure.
So he was willing to crack and destroy it. Wouldn't recommend doing that, Dwarven Forge terrain. But he kind of made this this crackaway terrain. And, we were immersed because we were panicking where we were standing. I'm like, am I okay over here? Is this piece going to fall away? So, that type of terrain created an immersive story. And I enjoy it.
That's exactly the idea that I meant about it. It's very case by case, right? Depending on what you're trying to get across. Maybe sometimes that doesn't make any difference depending on the storyline, but maybe it really does sometimes.
Now, here's a question. It says request, Stefan. Is that somebody who is a dungeon master also?
Yeah, everybody on here is essentially requestable, contractable. So these guys are all on board with. Somebody calls me up, they're like, "Yes, oh my God, I would love to play with Stefan and use his terrain. Can we do that?" Yep, absolutely.
That's awesome. And I'm sure they must have the most terrain too, because it says the founder of Dwarven Forge. So there's going to be a lot of terrain. Right?
I'm pretty sure Stefan has a lot of terrain. Yeah. Yes.
We have Alan Hammack.
Alan Hammack, yes, the legendary Alan Hammack. Ghost Tower of Inverness is his claim to fame mostly.
Great one, great module. Yeah, and I think Ghost Tower was a one of the original kind of convention modules.
Tournament module. Yep.
Yeah.
And they're running Return to Ghost Tower nowadays. Paul Stormberg tends to run that at conventions, and I think Alan does too.
I haven't seen
Paul on here yet.
No, I have to pick it.
It's new. I think he ran it first time at GaryCon last year, and then he ran it again at EggCon. I was just at, so it's relatively new, but they released it at GaryCon.
John, are you going to be at Page this coming year, Philadelphia Area Gaming Expo?
I hope to be. We're still trying to see how that works out, but
okay.
Yeah, that's still
me and the Dark Alchemy crew. The Dark Alchemy will still be down there. We're looking forward. Although we just kind of signed up to play games. We're just down there really to play D&D. Went to Gen Con. And this actually leads into a good Kaliber Experiences point. Went to Gen Con. We got into some games, 72,000 people, thousands of games set up, and we still could not get in with that lottery system.
Oh, yeah.
To a lot of games. We did play, but a lot of games, celebrity ones sold out right away.
It sure does.
At the smaller conventions, Page is a smaller convention. He's hoping for 2,000. I know he's already over 1,000. Shout out to Ron. He's doing a great job. We interviewed Ron of Page a few weeks ago, and we were able to get into a lot of games there. And he was actually super accommodating. We were playing a game with Leo, and they actually added an extra spot for us because they knew Leo was playing. So we're like, oh, we're kind of one short. He's like, okay, we'll fit you in. But now with Kaliber, you might go to a convention, Gen Con, Page, Egg, and not get in with that game master, and it's something you really want to do. They can contact you and then set up a private, and then you have them all to yourself.
Yeah, and then you can customize it if you want, however you want.
Yeah, and maybe even, I'm not sure how much a typical session would last, Is that a 1 4-hour session? I feel like if you're flying somebody out, you want to play more than for 4 hours.
I was just going to get into that actually. So
Yeah,
that's
so jump into that then.
The whole thing is essentially customizable, right? So we have, for example, a thing called a stay and play, which means like we even book you like an Airbnb,
Wow.
and you can stay like a Friday night, do a game session, Saturday, maybe 2 sessions with a break, and then Sunday, and then like a wrap up and go home thing, and we can do that in certain places. We have locations already like kind of available for that, and
Nice.
so depending on if you're local to PA, that makes that easy. Of course, you can always come to PA because that's where we're at. But anyway, there's other ways to do that.
If somebody's doing Page and they want to extend their stay, maybe contact you early, and then if you're located in PA, see the convention for the weekend. If you're down there anyway, just kind of extend it out, and then try to grab one of these awesome dungeon masters.
Yeah, because some of these folks are going to be coming to Page, and they will be there. I know GAXLAND's there at least for sure, and a couple other folks. So I think Mike Nystul will be there. So yeah, and I think Dave Hadden will be there. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure, but
so let's talk about Dave as a game master. Kingdom of Keshanar.
Keshanar, yeah. He wrote this. He's been doing it his whole life. This is his homegrown system. He's put so much effort, amazing amount of actual research and development into this. Went to Egypt, has Egyptologists, like full-blown thing. He's got a 3D computerized immersive environment you can go in. Their Kickstarter just ran. It was amazing. They're getting their stuff out really soon. They do not, what's from Jurassic Park? Spare no expense. So yeah, amazing stuff, an amazing crew. So absolutely, I have yet to actually get the game with these folks. I met them at GaryCon. We hit it off. They gave me a lot of great tips. They're very supportive. I supported the Kickstarter, but yeah, just all around great.
Okay, awesome. We have Heather, ValyGirl Ashcraft.
Yes, Heather Ashcraft is
25 years of experience. World building,
an amazing personality in modern game interactivity. So she collaborates with a lot of different kinds of people, does all kinds of conventions all over the place all the time. As a matter of fact, she's going to be on Malix Nystul's Dark and Stormy Night that I just did last Wednesday. She's doing it this Thursday. So tune in and check out Dark and Stormy, check out Heather, check out Malix. We're all kind of affiliated, and maybe it's a really great time.
Let's get through the last one here. Derek, the GeekPreacher White, and then we'll talk about the Dark and Stormy. Looks like he's a storyteller, teacher, game master. GaryCon since 2015. Also contributed to the Shadow Dark rules and some other stuff there. So, how is Derek as a game master?
Derek is great. He's another immersive one. He actually played the Return to Tower of Inverness with me at GaryCon. It was great fun. He's the co-creator of DarkSpace, which is the Shadow Dark rules for sci-fi, because there wasn't one. So he said, well, maybe we should have one. So he wrote that.
That's awesome.
He's getting that off the ground too. It's great stuff.
Sounds good. Let's see if we can add. Before we talk about Dark and Stormy, what I did notice is this is a Dungeons and Dragons channel. That's what we primarily focus on. But we also, being longtime gamers, play other stuff. I run some Call of Cthulhu games for Chaosium as a cultist of Cthulhu.
Love that.
We have a friend who just ran an Aliens one-shot for us, which is the prequel to the actual first Aliens movie, where you're the colonist.
Nice.
Very scary. So it looks like, reading your Kaliber Experience game masters, there are some other options. So if they don't want to strictly do D&D, we have Castles, we have Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu, Shadow Dark. Can you kind of run down what some of the other options might be if somebody's interested in that?
Oh, we've got a ton, actually. I don't have tons of celebrities that do all of those other ones, but our community DMs. So we've got a couple of folks on staff that are system junkies. So I mean, they run everything. We've got guys that run Fate. We've got guys that run Cyberpunk. We've got Witcher. We've got Call of Cthulhu. We've got Monsters and Mutants and Monsters, whatever that's called. We've got almost everything, really. All the different versions of D&D and all different
I think I think that's an important point. Somebody looking at your company, looking at your concierge service, your white glove service, might say, you know what, I've always heard about Call of Cthulhu. I want to try that too. Or it's Halloween. I want to do something horror related, not D&D. So they'll be able to contact you for that also. There's other systems available, and they would just have to contact you at Kaliber Experiences to kind of ask and fill out a form or an email to start that conversation.
Yeah, and we have like a sampler situation, or even a learn to play, right? So maybe you think you might want to learn to play Call of Cthulhu, but you don't want to buy all the stuff and then try it without trying it, right? And maybe you just want to have somebody come and run it for you. We can do that, and then we can also hook you up with whatever you need. So it's kind of like, again, that whole customized experience situation.
So let's talk about Twitch here. A Wandering Wizard actual play series, A Dark and Stormy Night. Let's play a game. It looks like you started this on September 24th, and you're broadcasting Wednesdays at 7 p.m. on Central. Can you tell us about this live play?
I can. This is great stuff. This is actually Malix's, Mike Nystul's brainchild. So this is Jason and I. Jason's Kaliber Experiences with me. We are together, and we were the 6th team to go through. So he does it every week, and it's like a choose your own adventure book in a sense. It's very unusual from a normal live play because everybody plays not exactly the same thing, but essentially the same thing. So you wake up, you start on a road on a dark and stormy night, and you're not sure how you got there or why, and you have to start figuring out what's going on. And the environment is basically the same for all the players, and you can use information from prior, if you watch the prior episodes and whatever, or people in the chat can give you clues and whatever. It's completely like the reverse of giving out spoilers. It's spoilers encouraged, because it's kind of fun. And Malix is such a great GM. He rolls with almost anything. So even though he knows cheat codes are coming up, he's got it all worked out to make it amazing and fun. So we were the 6th team to go. We were the first. I'm very proud to say we were the first people to actually succeed. You're kind of trapped on this weird mystical magical island. We actually got off, and so we were the first person. So last post I put up was like Phantoms 5, players 1. So there's phantoms. That something about it is the phantoms come and get you. So it's a blast. Definitely, it's almost like addictive, right? Because you want to see what's going to happen next. You want to see the next people try. You're going to see what next piece of the realm is revealed if they go a different way. It's very fun. I highly recommend checking it out. He's got them on YouTube, and the recordings are on YouTube, but he does live on Twitch every week.
Okay, we'll put those links down below to the Twitch and to the YouTube. They can follow you, subscribe to that channel, subscribe to your channel. Try to like and share everywhere. It doesn't cost anything to the like button or subscribe button.
Yes, please.
So let's talk about call this the lightning round. We just have some random questions. Favorite dice color, or do you have a lot of dice?
I'm not a dice goblin.
Okay.
No, I kind of my favorite dice are the ones that I've had a long time. I have like nostalgia dice, right? So it's not so much.
You have an original set dice, and it's all worn away.
I do. I don't have as many anymore. Some of the bullies in high school lost me some. I think my friend Rich tells me I almost killed one. That I can't remember I did that, but somebody
fighting over dice.
My very classic dice. They're probably worth a lot of money at this point too, if I would have still had them. But yes, I have some that are very old and classic. I love those. I like the pointy ones, to be honest with you. For them, all them years, they stopped making the pointy dice, and I really didn't like that.
Yeah.
So,
how many original adventure models do you have? Do you have a large original collection?
Oh, I do. I've got. Oh, I don't know if I even ever counted them. I've got a bunch of. I've almost all the real classic ones. I've got the Slave Lord ones. I've got Harold's Timotian. I've got the Against the Giants and the Spider Queen and the Keep on the Borderlands, and I got a whole. Yeah, I'm pretty hooked up.
Favorite artist or art style?
Oh, gee, I got to say Larry Elmore, because I can't say anybody else. I got to meet Larry Elmore at GaryCon, and he drew me a little picture, and I put it in. He was just like, sure, I'll sketch you a dragon. I was like, what? Okay. So he sat there and sketched me a dragon. I was like over the moon. I was like, that was amazing. So put that in.
Yeah. Larry Elmore, probably the big influence on my life too, growing up. And then I saw him at Gen Con a couple of years ago, maybe pre-COVID. He was selling his art book, and I got to talk to him and chat with him. And he signed the book, and
cool,
just that artwork, brought the adventure to life at the time. At that time, it was lead miniatures, kind of pre-terrain. I mean, maybe we put some stuff down, but not at the level we see.
Graph paper today. Sketches and Ralph Hartha lead miniatures. Yep, that's right.
That's it. And he had to map out on the with pencil on the graph and see if it lined up with the blue colored maps. First character in D&D.
Frida the Ranger in the Slave Lords module.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's my memory.
How long did you play? How long did you play with the Ranger?
We were still really young kids. I think we played the slave. I don't even think we did all 4 of them. We did, I think, 2 of the Slave Lord modules, and then I guess for whatever, my friend's dad was running them because we were like 10, so he had to stop doing that. We did something else. So I would say 2 of the Slave Lord modules, probably 1 and 2, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 1 and 3, I think. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, one of them. But that was definitely the first, which is why I was excited to play it with Harold at Page.
Cool. How about a favorite low-level monster to fight?
Hobgoblins. I love hobgoblins.
Why do you love the hobgoblin?
To me, they're like D&D Klingons.
Okay.
Right. I love. They're like the Uruk-hai from Lord of the Rings movies. I essentially equate them to hobgoblins. That's the vibe I like. Those are like the humanoid badasses as far as I'm concerned.
It's true, at least in 5e, which I love all the systems, but we're playing 5e and we've embraced it. The current 2024 25 rules.
Yeah.
I know people have their different likes and dislikes, but we like the way it is. And I threw some hobgoblins and some bugbears against our characters. And the hobgoblin, they're armored, they have some tactics, there's some range, there's some melee. There's some command skills, and it's like fighting more of like a cohesive like military, even though they're goblinoid effect. Right. I think that's a good one. Yeah. Do you have a favorite class to play?
It's a toss up depending on my mood, right? So everybody that knows me is going to say paladin, and a couple of the people that know me are going to say wizard. So it depends on if I'm feeling magic-y or if I'm feeling knighty. So we just started a shout out to Margaret Weiss and Tracy Hickman. We just started a Kryn adventure campaign just this past weekend, and I always play paladins essentially, really, Roy. So I tried really hard not to read Knights of Solemnia. I just kind of glanced over them, and I was like, "You're welcome, guys," because I'm always doing that. So of course I picked a red robe Wizard of High Sorcery. So.
Oh yeah, I tell you that storyline with the white, red, and black robes, the Tower of Sorcery, the test stuff,
it's good stuff.
And then the whole dragon thing is absolutely amazing. That definitely shaped my youth. There was some movies, Conan the Barbarian, Highlander, and then there was Star Wars, and then there was like those books, the Dragonlance series, and then the series with Drizzt and in the north. In the frozen area, like those kind of shape my youth and made me the man I am today, the nerd I am today. do you have a favorite world? Speaking of that, is Kryn your favorite world? Forgotten Realms?
No, it's not honestly. I gotta say honestly, I'm a horror guy. I love gothic horror. Ravenloft. I told you I fell in love with Castle Ravenloft on Halloween that year. Then they released the box set. I bought everything that they printed. I had everything in Ravenloft. And I love it. So I love running that. I love playing in it. I love the spookiness.
The original Ravenloft artwork was also something pretty amazing too.
I have a lot of the stuff of that imagery and whatever. As a matter of fact, there's a picture in the Castle Ravenloft, a whole page one of I think the Strahd zombies in a swamp coming out, and he's like all right. And my friend Dan, who was running the game, he I don't know if he's not going to remember this because Dan, if you're listening, I have your DNA. So like he had cut himself in some way, and he like smeared the blood on the fangs of the zombie in the module. It's a black and white print of the Strahd zombies, but it's got these blood stains on it in my book, and it stands DNA.
John, we're supposed to stay away from the panic over here. We're not supposed to actually
right. Yeah,
be doing stuff like that. Do not.
Sorry.
It's okay. That's okay. How about favorite magic item or anything like that? Something that stands out?
Well, from my wizardly days, I mean, I really like the wizard staff concept in general, right? So, my long-standing favorite character of all time was a wizard. I played him from first edition into fifth edition.
Wow, that's cool. That's
cool. Every time. So since I was a kid, and he kind of made a staff, and he actually had, after all of that time, he actually had acquired an artifact, a Crystal of Evan Flame, and he mounted that in the staff. So that was my go-to gear. So that was it.
I want to share a Dungeon Master tip that I can't take credit for it. I heard this somewhere else. Haven't used it yet, and I want to know if you have heard this.
All right.
We're in 5th edition, and your characters, your players, you're a Dungeon Master, your players come across a lich, old wizard, and he starts throwing spells from 1st and 2nd and 3rd edition at you, especially the 1st edition. But they are the description from the actual 1st edition because he's so old, he's so ancient, and spells in 1st edition were much more brutal.
Kicked your crap. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Those 5th edition players are probably crapping their pants. Yeah.
Exactly. So
yes, I have heard this. I haven't
heard
this, but I have heard it. Yes.
I think I want to try that. That's a Dungeon Master tip if you want to really challenge your players. Have you had a chance to play the Curse of Strahd? Being such in love with Ravenloft, have you actually had to run it or play it and run through it?
I started running it once, and then I had to stop. My group sort of dispersed, and I was sad.
Okay.
And then, honestly, the same thing happened on the reverse. I got to start playing it once. We got a little ways in, and that also dispersed. So, unfortunately, I have not gotten to explore that. I would love to, because, again, I love that entire whole theme. So, honestly, you can see this is actually the Dark and Stormy Night from Malix's stream, but I loved it so much I use it for the background. So this is
great background. Yeah, very evocative with the fog and everything. Where do you see Kaliber Experiences going? You're starting off this year. You want to see it kind of grow where people are contacting you and you're really able to fly these game masters around, or do you ever see it like becoming like a convention sort of thing, or it's really just more a concierge service where it's really the one-on-one situation?
No, honestly, I kind of have some lofty goals for it. I mean, like I said, we have a lot of streams of service offering, right? So I love my passion in this entire environment is essentially the event, producing the actual experience in the event. So I love doing conventions. I did conventions a little bit in my professional life. I'm a tech guy by grown-up job. I used to work at SAP. I started doing events there, and I really like it. So I like managing all of the production stuff. So that's why I like helping out with gaming conventions, because obviously it's both things I love. So trying to do more of that. Honestly, it was staff at Page 2. Some of the other guys in my crew are also staff at Page. We helped at EggCon. I'm trying to do more of that. I would love to get more convention work in. But also, Jason's working on getting our content creation wing going. He's writing a module right now. I'm going to give the spoiler away, Jason. I'm sorry. It's called In the Belly of the Beasts.
Wait! I want to hit something here. One second. This is very. I don't get to use this button too often, John. So
okay.
So
what do we got?
Breaking news.
Got some breaking news here. IndianaJon of Kaliber Experiences is going to spill the tea. So go ahead. What's the spoiler?
I am. So we're generating our first real Kaliber Experiences published module right now. Awesome. It's not quite there yet, but it's coming along. And Jason Pennant on our team, on our community GM page, you can find him. He is kind of spearheading that effort, and we're also working with Leo. He writes a lot of one-shots, and he's on board with us. He's on our page too, so if anybody wants to contract a game with Leo, he loves Dwarven Forge. It's cool stuff. Give us the contact.
He's become quite the Dwarven Forge collector, in my understanding.
I think he's like Stefan's number one like customer. I swear he must be. He's like
has my speed dial, right? When
I
Leo
think so.
Pick up the phone. Shout out to Leo.
Like, Stefan, I need a wagon. Oh, Stefan, I need a tower. Yeah, it's he's got it's like the bat phone for Dwarven Forge. So
the bat phone.
So he's trying to write some stuff. We've got some collaboration going with other people. I'd like to get a couple more folks in the house doing that stuff. Another one of our community GMs, my friend from high school, our long-term friend GM. He's going to write up a couple of the things that he's run for us over the years. He got like a post Ragnarok Norse mythology campaign that he ran us through for I don't know how many years, and it was amazing. We're probably going to write that one up and release that. So that's coming up. So we're doing a lot of different things.
Will these be available on KaliberExperiences.com, or are these going to be more Kickstarters? What's your kind of vision for that?
Well, again, it's real new, so I think it's going to probably be some of both. I think we're going to probably like package a bunch of stuff first, and we might full-blown Kickstarter something in maybe next year. We didn't quite get there yet.
I feel like the Kickstarter community is pretty giving to the D&D adventure one-shot or books in general kind of creators. You have some of these larger companies, you might have like a Hasbro or Wizards of the Coast or King's Workshop. The kickstarting and stuff, and it's more like a pre-sale. Like this company shouldn't need the help. It should be for the small creator. So if you're out there and you see Kaliber Experiences or another small creator with one or two one-shot adventures, and at $15 for a PDF or 25 or 30, I don't even mind paying a little bit more for a good hardcover book that I could put on my shelf with some nice color. I'll pay the extra.
Who was on your show the other day talking about I want to be able to smell the book? Is that Drew or somebody?
That was for a Kickstarter, and and the nice thing is they offer different levels. Hey, I'm a PDF guy. I only want to read digital. That's fine. But then other people want to smell the book. I'm the same way. I want a good quality book. So if you do a Kickstarter, come back on the show. We can talk about that.
Yeah, awesome.
And then anything else about Kaliber? Anything else the people out there should know that you think is important? The best way to contact you, once again, is the website. Let's pull that website back up.
Yeah, absolutely. Reach out through the website.
One more time, and let me go through the website. So we're going to scroll up. So these are celebrity DMs that we went over. You go to the homepage, there's a contact the guild for the concierge gaming services. We go to your services page here, executive game masters, personalized experience, personalized keepsakes. So you do know a lot of people who are creative and create stuff. So do they get some dice? They get some miniatures? What's the keepsakes?
Yeah. So again, it's kind of like trying to be almost a bucket list kind of an event if you want it to be. So it's supposed to be kind of a big deal. So again, if I was going to do this and I wanted to maybe remember it, right? So we're partnering with Old Owl Gaming, who we met at EdCon, who does customized hardwood stuff like dice towers and things like that. So we're gonna be able to provide that as essentially an add-on, depending on, again, it's customized however much you want. If you really want like everybody to have like a signed hardwood dice tower to commemorate your thing that you played with Mike Nystul, we can get Mike to sign them, and then you have that, right, as what you did. And anything like that, essentially. We're trying to partner with different kinds of creators and different artists, different crafts people, and various kinds of stuff to make different kinds of things available.
If they have the gold pieces, you have the props.
That's about right. Yeah, that's what we're trying to make happen. So
nice.
It's
so we went over to celebrity GMs here. You can meet the celebrity GMs. You can take the time. We went through them briefly. You can take the time to read them. They have community GMs, so not famous, but still great story.
Trying to be almost famous, pre-famous.
Almost famous. Famous. I like that.
Leo's on there. Scroll down. Show all the people.
Do we have a list to meet the community?
Yeah.
Look, it's
me.
It's you yourself, and you come with the hat and a smile and years and years of experience.
The hat comes with Mike Nystul's Nuked game on it, by the way, which is an amazing game that he invented, and we're still trying to publish. So this is Mike's Nuked.
Okay.
It's gone. Where'd it go? It's Nuked. And it's an amazing game. Oh, that's better.
Let's see. Yeah, we can see you.
Post-apocalyptic America after essentially meltdown. Trying to get the camera to stop cutting it out. So he wrote that, and we've played it a couple of times. He does a live stream some days, and it's phenomenal. It's its own kind of hybrid system of some things. There it is.
The end of the world was just the beginning.
Yep.
Can you and your party survive and thrive in a post-apocalyptic hellscape? Find out. Nightmares, monsters, bizarre cults, warlords, gangs, and more. What system is this based on? Its own system.
He wrote it. So if you look in that top right corner there, you can kind of see the basics of the mechanics. So it's a little bit almost like dice pool, but not quite. He rolls the D12s, and it depends on each one of those 6 boxes that are really tiny. is kind of like an area. It's almost like athletic skills, knowledge skills, that kind of thing, different groupings of types of things. And then you have ranks in sort of individual skills in each box. And then so you roll X number of dice depending on how many ranks you have and such. And then you get successes. So yeah, he's got it all. He's got a fictional novel about it. There's a very deep lore. And he pretty much wrote it all. And it's actually pretty darn fun.
So we have a pre-order for the hardcover book, and they have a downloadable PDF with maybe some information. And then looks like there's a novel by Michael A. Nystul, available on Apple Books. Hello World, the Nuked Texan Tales. So,
if all right. So Facebook right now and look this up, you can get essentially the demo kit set of it free. He's giving it away special for free right now. He's calling it a start kicker, I think, because it's already released, but he's still sort of giving it away. So
instead of a Kickstarter,
right?
So so we'll put the links down below for Nuked, but we're here to talk about you, IndianaJon, and Dungeons and Dragons, because you're known as a neutral good paladin who guides our adventures with humor, creativity, what he calls a rapier-like wit, not a raptor. Right. I guess both would fit.
Yeah, right? I'm good with being a raptor. That's cool. There's Chris I was telling you about. That's that's probably a little bit of glimpses of some of his tabletop stuff, but his setup is amazing, and he does all kinds of fun 5e stuff.
Yeah, I also see, as a Call of Cthulhu fan with a beard like that, you have to love Cthulhu. Delta Green, ooh, that's a good one too. Delta Green, I'm a fan. Dungeon Crawl Classics, the Fate system. Just started playing the Fate system. We did a couple of one-shots for the Dresden Files using the Fate system.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it. It was a little hard to write for Dresden because I made a custom adventure, custom one-shot, or maybe not a one-shot, just a little series. It was good, though, but we're trying to focus on D&D, but I did enjoy the Fate system. He's also a Warhammer and a Star Trek guy and a Shadow Dark guy. So a lot of he's one that does it all.
Yeah, he grew up 80s kid, gamer nerd. He just is a gamer nerd. So there's nothing more to say about it.
Who do we have here?
Robin is our resident, essentially event coordinator, game master person. So he runs Adventurers League in the friendly neighborhood gaming store here in Reading, PA, and he kind of is our lead on knowing how to do things like Adventurers League and Pathfinder Society, and he does Fate and all kinds of other things. He also runs 4 or 5 weekly games at the hobby shop, or at the gaming store.
Wow.
So yeah.
We have Nick Fuller.
Yeah. Nick is our essentially our GM wrangler. So he's one of our system junkies. He's the one I was talking about. There's his Mutants and Mastermind, Star Wars, Dark Heresy, Starfinder, World of Darkness, City of Mist, Shadowrun, Call of Cthulhu, Nuked, etc. So if there's a new game, he wants to learn it and run it. So he's all over.
It also says he works with children with special needs. So
he does.
You can accommodate. I guess they reach out to call you, of course, at Kaliber Experiences, but that might be an accommodation too. The last interview we did, the gentleman was a special needs teacher for years, and he had an accommodation also at the game store for some special needs and just a way of storytelling and trying to bring some education to those needs, which I always think is very important too.
Yeah, it's one of the things I didn't get into yet, but it's something that we're trying to move towards. Is also there's the idea of gaming therapy for folks that have ADHD or autism or something, social skills therapy groups, and we're trying to get an affiliation with that to try to provide some services there and some other charity work too. So same idea, but
awesome.
Yeah, I think Nick's going to be involved in that.
Sounds good. We have Richard here.
Richard is one I was talking about. Yep, friend from high school that found me from doing the Hobbit.
Oh, he's the one. He's the one.
He's the one. Yep, and he's the Norse apocalyptic after Ragnarok guy too. So yes, he's that guy. He's been our DM for our friend group almost. He's not the forever DM. He's not running the Kryn group. So he's getting to play, but mostly he's the DM for the past 30 years.
Awesome.
And there's
Jason. You have a good crew. You got a big crew, John.
Yeah, we're getting there. So Jason is the one that is that ran Dark and Stormy with me, and he's the one that I said is kind of heading up. He's the one releasing this In the Belly of the Beasts book module pretty soon. And yeah, he's very excited. Met him at EggCon, and we hit it off really quickly. He was helping run the show as well, and we hadn't really known each other before that. But throughout just the weekend of being at EggCon, we really hit it off. And then he was like, I need to be involved in what you're doing. So then we talked, and now he's on board.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like most gamers and nerds are very accommodating to each other. They like what you're doing. You can actually just talk to them, and there's no animosity, right? It just kind of flows. You love the same. You love the same lore. You love the same nerd stuff.
Here's Leo.
Shout out to Leo, the mayor of Gen Con. I love his shirt. He's got this gelatinous cube shirt, and I met Leo at a Long Island tabletop. He's actually not too far from me. I'm in New York on Long Island. He's down the road on the other side of the island, closer to Queens. And yeah, we've been chatting. We 3D printed some stuff for him. We're hanging out with him, and we're going to do some one shots just for fun with him because yeah, we're close by. He's going to run some. I'm going to run some. So Leo jumped on board with you too. Tell me about that.
Well, we met. I don't remember where we played first. It might have been Gary Con. It might have been Paige last year. I don't remember. And he and I crossed paths at the gaming table at one of the conventions. And then that was that. I mean, we were friendly at the table, and that was that. But then at EdCon, again, just passed in July, we ended up sitting in Stefan Pokorny's game. He was running a game, and he was running it on Dwarven Forge, whatever. And Leo was there. Josh Pop was there. A couple other cool people were there. And Leo had his wife and his kid there and everything playing the game, and it was fun. And so we kind of connected up, and I was sitting right next to him, and we were vibing the whole way through the game. Our characters were in sync, helping each other out. It was very fun. And so we just and then I was helping run the auction at EdCon, and he was a big auction buyer. He bought our fancy hardwood DM screen and everything. Okay. So we just kind of hit it off a lot, and we've been talking ever since. And he was very excited about what we're doing and wanted to be a part of it, and I was happy to have him. So that's just how it was, very organic.
Well, shout out to you, Leo. I did invite him on a program tonight. He was a little bit busy, and I would like to take credit because I think I'm the one who said you're the mayor of Gen Con. He goes, I'm going to use that. I said, absolutely. I think so.
Yeah, he told me about that.
He seemed to know everybody. He was friends with the GUI crew and the Dwarven Forge crew, and now the Kaliber Experiences crew.
I'm waiting to get the injunction letter in the mail from Gen Con saying, who the hell is this guy and why is he on your website saying he's the mayor of Gen Con? But I haven't gotten it yet.
All right. We'll have to cut off the Gen Con and just call him the mayor or the mayor of Dungeons and Dragons or something.
Yeah, something like that.
And then we have Message to Guild, so that's you. So on KaliberExperiences.com, just first name, last name, email address, little drop down for a concierge gaming experience, books, virtual play, live play, books, and then general info. They can contact you. Yep. And there's a mailing list too.
Yep, it's still growing. We only just re-released this version of the website a month ago or so.
Looks good.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited about it actually. Colleague of mine from work, my day job, who lives in Greece and does marketing and is amazing at this stuff. He helped me out, and he did an amazing job. So thank you, George. But yeah, it's going to have more stuff coming. We've got like probably an events page. What are we up to, kind of a thing, because we've got things going on that aren't reflected there, and all kinds of stuff. So it's we got a lot of activity happening.
Awesome. So once again, that's Kaliber Experiences. This is IndianaJon, the founder of Kaliber Experiences, with all his cool game masters. Links will be down below. The best way to support the Dark Alchemy channel, of course, is to subscribe. Adventurers Wanted, subscribe today. You can follow me on Instagram. I am Dungeon Master Roy at Dark Alchemy Ltd. We'll be at Extravacon November 15th on Long Island at the Huntington Hilton, or one-day events selling our miniatures. I have a new little thing here. Let me see if this works. I put that up my Etsy shop. There's a little banner in the top left-hand corner. But I don't understand. If you're watching this on your phone, you really can't scan it. So I don't know the sense of it. But my links will be down below too. You can always find DM Evanson at DM_Evanson on Instagram and all the socials. And that was John from Kaliber Experiences. John, any parting words of wisdom for fellow gamers and adventurers? Anything else you'd like to say that maybe I didn't cover? Or share us that one last D&D story if there was a third one?
Well, I think one of the things that is important to me to get out there that I want to try to promote when we run games is, there's a lot of new people lately in our hobby, right? And they have a very specific sort of exposure to it. They got a lot of people into it. So I think they don't necessarily know a lot of the other ways to play, right? So like a lot of people are used to one shots now. They run one shots, or they run, you know, an adventure, and they make a character, they play the adventure, and they get done and they're done, right? Instead of old school way, we used to, when we started in olden times, you made a character, and a lot of times, you know, that 3d6 roll set right down the line, and you got what you got, and you made a character out of it, and you played that character through their life, and they did adventures, not you did an adventure, so you made a character to play the adventure, right? So it's that's kind of a passion of mine, to try to get folks to understand a little bit of difference. And, you know, there's all different kinds of ways to play. If you're having fun, that's good, right? So some people don't care about the tabletop and all the tactical stuff, and some people just love that. But I like to bring alternative ways to play to other people too, that they haven't tried before. So that's kind of important. Like, stretch out and try different things. So it's cool that people are getting into our hobby these days, but there's a lot of different ways to do it, and a lot of different systems, a lot of different games, a lot of different versions of the games and styles of GMing and all that stuff. So mix it up.
Yeah. Sounds good. Yeah, we kind of had a renaissance of Dungeons and Dragons with the Critical Role, and then TV shows, and then with COVID and coming out of that, Stranger Things and all thing. And now people have an interest, and I think it's great. I think it's important to sit around the campfire and tell a story in person. If you can do it online, great. But if you can actually get that in-person group, even if it's a one shot, I think it's important to sit around with other people and have that shared experience.
I agree entirely. I'm a very big fan of the actual sitting around the tabletop. I mean, nothing against playing online, but I think it's you lose something. You just it's different to be in the room.
Yeah. Well, thank you for your time, IndianaJon. We're going on an hour here. I think it was awesome. Links will be down below. I'll send you all that information, and I hope everybody gets to experience D&D. And if you can't, contact Kaliber Experiences and set up a game to get yourself started.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, DM Roy. Appreciate it a lot. Hope to be back.
Thank you. And let's see if I can find the proper button to maybe end this. End recording. Okay, John, have a great night. You can stay in the green room for a minute when this ends, and I'll give you a little